The first exercise we're going to do is going to be a mobility one, and that's going to be for your back, just to make sure it's nice and flexible. Because the more flexible it is, the more mobile it is, the less likely you are to get hurt spending a lot of time in those slouch positions, or maybe even when you're reaching down to pick up things from the floor and that kind of stuff. So it's really simple to do. You can do it in the office if you want. I'm not sure everyone else will be impressed, but you can definitely do this at home, 5 minutes a day. So you want to take a kneeling position. So your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. And what we want to do here is sort of hollow your back out and point your chin at the wall in front of you. So this is full spinal extension. And then what we want to do is start with your head, tuck your head down, and then round your back as much as you can and push yourself away from the floor as high up as you can go. Feel the stretch through your spine, and then slowly go back to the other position, like this. So remember to tuck your chin right in, and then sink nice and low, and point your head up, keeping your arms straight the whole time. So that's our first one. That's working on your spine flexibility through flexion and extension, those movements there. And so obviously the more time you spend in those flexed and extended positions, the safer you will be in those positions if you ever find yourself there day to day. The next position we're going to do is starts from this quadruped position again, but this time we're going to be working on what we call the T-spine, so T-spine mobility and flexibility. So starting in the same position again, nice and stable, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. This time we're going to reach through and go as far as you can until you lay your arm on the ground. Hold this position for a few seconds and then come back to the middle and then do the same the other way. So reaching through, flatten your arm on the ground. You want to hold it there and then come back to the middle. So you'll feel this one stretching your mid back and your up back through here. So this is a great one for flexibility and mobility. So we're going to be doing about 8 to 10 repetitions going each way. And that's the same for the previous exercise too. Sort of 8 to 10 flexion and extension cycles. So the next thing we're going to do is, we call it a strider stretch. So you want to go in a press up position. Don't worry, we're not doing press ups. And then you want to step forwards, get your foot as high up as you can get it. So you're going to feel a nice stretch in your inner thigh here. And you want to push your hips down and then rotate. So lift the arm up, the same arm on the bent leg side. Lift it up, rotate, point it up at the ceiling. And you want to look up, and you hold that for a second. Then go back to the start. And do the same the other way. So stepping up, then you want to rotate, point your arm at the ceiling, and then look up too. So we want to go for about 30 seconds of these exercises. These will get your heart rate up a little bit. Like this. So as you can see, that's working through sort of some lower body flexibility and also some cardiovascular stuff, so it's going to get your heart and lungs working. And it's also working on that spine stability as well. So our next exercise after that is going to be side stretches. So you want to kneel down. You can do kneeling or standing. Kneeling, you can get a little bit of a better stretch. So then what you want to do, you've probably done it before in any kind of aerobics class or anything like that. You want to reach up and then reach over as far as you can. The reason I like doing it kneeling down is so you can put your hand on the ground if you want to. So what you want to do is just reach over nice and far, and then slowly come back to the middle, and then reach over the other way. So as far as you can. You may find that you're tighter or less flexible on one side than the other. That's completely normal. So we want to do 8 to 10 repetitions each direction. So reach over this way. Try and keep your knees on the ground, that's important. And then reach over this way as well. So we're working on lateral flexion and lateral extension of your spine there. We're just mainly making sure we move your spine through all the different movement patterns that it can do to keep it as healthy as possible. Then our next exercise after that is going to be an exercise for your core. So your core is really important because if your abs are weak, they allow your pelvis to sit forwards, which creates this sort of rounded belly here, and it also hyperextends your lower back slightly here. So this is one of the main causes why people have lots of discomfort in their lower back and back pain. Especially because sitting can exacerbate this body position. So think of it like this position. So strong core pulls your pelvis up, which tucks it in, shortens this distance here, flattens it off, and it also reduces the extension here. So what we're going to do is start lying on the ground like this, and what you want to do first of all, focus on pushing your lower back into the floor as hard as you can, and then you want to pull yourself off the ground like this, then lift your legs up one at a time. This is your starting position here. So lower back pressed hard into the floor, legs at 90 degrees, and your chest up. And what we're going to do is just stretch back, and then crunch up like this, keeping your chin on your chest the whole time. And we want to do 8 to 10 repetitions of these as well. So what we're doing here is we're cueing your core to tighten up and keep your pelvis in a good position. Like this. And then when you're done, just relax on the ground, keep your back pushed into the floor, then lower your legs down. So those are the crunch variations that we're going to be doing. The next exercise will be a squat. So if you feel confident with squats, you can do them just body weight, just like this. So we'll do 10 to 20 repetitions of these. So these are good for getting your heart and your lungs working nice and hard, but they're also going to work your thighs and your glutes a little bit too. So if you don't feel too confident with squats, or you're a little bit worried that you won't come all the way back up, you can do a chair squat instead. So hold on to the back of the chair, squat as low as you feel comfortable, and then stand back up. So the chair's here for your confidence, and if you need to, you can use your arms to push yourself back up. Just like this. So again, 10 to 20 repetitions of those. The next thing we're going to do is an exercise just for your glutes. Your glutes and your hamstrings are kind of the long forgotten part of your core. They're still really, really important, especially in a back care exercise and fitness program like this. So what you want to do with this one is I'll show you 2 different ways to do it. So the first way, you've probably done it before. You want to lie on the ground, think about pushing your back into the floor, head off the floor, arms to the ground, and digging your heels into the ground. You want to push your hips up nice and high. Hold this for a second, and then come back to the top, back to the bottom even, then push up. So we want 10 to 20 repetitions like that. If you feel like those are a bit too easy, then cross one leg over the other one like this, and then do one at a time, just like this. Making sure you switch legs after 10 to 20 reps. So you switch and do the other side. Like that. So those are the main exercises you can do on the floor, and now we're going to do some exercises for your shoulder flexibility and your T-spine flexibility again. So these ones, you're going to want to lie on the floor, and what we want to do is, you don't want an excessive arch in your back, and you don't want to flatten your back into the floor. You just want to be nice and neutral, so a small space between your spine and the floor. What we want you to do, bend your arms at 90 degrees, and then lower your knuckles all the way down to the floor. And what we want you to do is be able to lower your knuckles to the floor without you having to arch your back to do it. So once you're in this position here, keeping your fists clenched, you're going to slide your arms up, keeping your shoulders and your elbows on the floor the whole time. And then slowly bring it back like this, making sure your elbows and your knuckles stay touching the floor the entire time. And we want 10 to 20 repetitions like this as well. So I might look a little bit stupid, but the reason why we're doing this one is because a lot of you, if you sit at a desk, you're going to spend a lot of time slouched over in this position like this while you're working. What this exercise does is it actually extends all your spine and opens out all the joints in this area and puts them in that position that they're not spending any time in, which is really, really important. So those are the main exercises in your program. One thing I will definitely say is you'll see this in the health leaflets I've made too. It's really important that you try and do at least one vigorous exercise session a week. So that could be anything you enjoy, as long as you feel like it's getting you to work at about 8 out of 10 effort or harder. So it could be something like a spin class, it could be a hike or something like that, a vigorous dog walk where you go for a little bit of a jog and walk uphill. It could be a hard swimming session or an exercise class or something like that. But there's just so much research showing how healthy it is and how good it is for your heart and lungs to be taxed really vigorously at least once a week. And it will do loads for your health. This exercise and stretching program I showed you here, it'd be good if you could do it a few times a week. You'd definitely see some benefits. The main thing though is it's just keeping your body nice and mobile so you don't feel like you get all kind of stiff and scrunched up from spending a lot of days sitting down. So that's the exercise program, and thank